morning, Dave and Sarah. Happy Thanksgiving. I wanted to share three things with you quickly this morning. Kind of an update on Henry, particularly with respect to Kelly McCutcheon, an update on Ignacio, and then share with you a really heartwarming experience I've had in working with the family office that Kelly and I are working with, and I think that'll make sense as I go. So, first of all, update on Henry. Kelly has been doing consulting work with a family office. He's the COO of the Aurora Forge, which I'm the CEO. It's an early stage health tech, gov tech accelerator, and we're extremely excited about it. We're looking at a number of deals in neuroscience, but we're working, there are two other co-founders with me, so the three founders. Newton Howard, I've mentioned before, who has 5 PhDs and an MD in neurosurgery, who sold to Google what's now Google Earth and Translate, and interestingly owns 80% of the patents and IP for Neuralink, which is right in our area of spinal cord innovation, neuro innovation. And then Ricky Kaplan, who's the global head of health IT for Tech Mahindra, which has a $5.5 billion P&L. We're doing amazing work with his family office in Africa, India, different parts of the world. I'm on the board of a Christian school called Valley Christian Schools, and we have a Christ-centered curriculum that we're doing in 10 Latin American countries, 2.5 million kids, 10,000 schools, 25,000 teachers, paid for by AT&T, and 350 of the worst performing schools in Northern California. That Christ-centered curriculum is going to over 500,000 students, and we won 2 X Prizes with that school in San Jose, California, Valley Christian School, VCS.net, and been a semi-finalist on a number of X Prizes. Kelly's been working with the X Prize team leadership in California to move all the healthcare X Prizes to Georgia, to Atlanta, and we're very excited about that. He also has been doing consulting work with Jacob's Ladder. We had a donor that had committed an additional $400,000 to Henry. We believed it was going to happen this year, which will pay for 2 years of the clinical trial. We hope that'll still be forthcoming, but we're going to continue to work and raise money as if it's not. So we'll see what happens there. So Kelly's been doing consulting with Amy Odell and Jacob's Ladder. He's been doing consulting with the Aurora Forge as COO, and my family is going to step in if we need to for several months to take care of his salary. He has not been paid in 3 months from Henry, but so we're just doing other things to take care of that. On Ignacio, I spoke to him 2 days ago. He's now formally gone from Asia A to Asia C. So that sort of, I'm a Asia A, or sort of a most seriously injured on a scale of 1 to 5. I'm a 1, 5 being a totally healthy person. So Asia C is like a 3. And Reggie Edgerton, other than a miracle of healing from God, that's never happened apparently according to Reggie, medically, scientifically, clinically, other than the 15 people that we've gotten walking that were Asia A's. So very exciting about that. He also bumped into Andy Garcia, who's agreed to help with the film, his documentary film. So we're very thrilled with that. He's walked over 100,000 steps on the EXO, which we had a donor who attended his wedding contribute to Henry. So we feel very, very good about that, very excited about his progress. He's doing his master's in kinesiology, and it's a 2-year program. He said it's the hardest he's ever worked or ever studied, which is saying a lot when he had a 3.85 in aerospace engineering at Georgia Tech and finance at Georgia State undergrad, a perfect 4.0 in the biomedical engineering program at Georgia Tech, master's. But this is the hardest he said he's ever worked or studied. Part of it's because of COVID, and there's no assistance. He's having to take notes with his left hand. That's the only hand he has, arm he has. He's not left-handed. And then finally, with the family office, we've been doing some really exciting things through Henry. We've been working with Bruce Wilkinson. There's a 2,000 hectare site in South Africa that actually the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia was trying to buy, and we're hosting ministries from around the world there. Bruce has trained over 500,000 teachers and pastors in Africa alone. We're doing a tremendous amount of work with the church in India. But most exciting, we've gotten hundreds of people out of Afghanistan, and the family office, the managing director, R.J. Gosselin, who's an Anglican archbishop, former head of Christian Unity Worldwide for Pope Francis, former Marine, had a consulting business in Israel for 9 years. Amazing guy, 9th degree Dan in Shiatsu-Do martial arts. He spent 90 days out of the last 3 months or so in Afghanistan and in Pakistan. And I had a woman call me from Nuremberg, Germany, who had been working on anti-trafficking, which is one of our areas of focus, of course, with Henry. And she said, Ross, I had spoken to her in 18 months. She used to live in Atlanta. She said, Ross, I was praying last night for this couple I know that were missionaries in Chile for 30 years. They're dear friends of mine. They moved to Chattanooga, Tennessee. And they're trying to help this young woman get out of Afghanistan. She was on the national wheelchair women's basketball team, and she was a prosecutor. She's a lawyer who is prosecuting terrorists out of Kabul. So the Taliban has been after her. We've gotten her to Pakistan. She's in hiding in Pakistan with her brother. Her family are all Muslims in the United States that have all disowned her, both because of participating in athletics and because of her law degree. But as I was praying, I just felt like I was supposed to reach out to you, because I felt like God was telling me that you could help in some way, that He was indicating that you know someone that could be helpful to this young woman. So I know this is weird, but I'm going to email it to you. So I called, talked to the missionary couple, and I've been praying for a month that I would feel, experience, know, and understand God's love for me. And I was praying with RJ about it about 2 Fridays ago at 8 a.m. that God would answer that prayer in a way that I would clearly hear and understand. At 10:30, we had a call with a couple from Chattanooga, and we were talking to them about getting people out, getting her out of Pakistan into a country where she could get safe haven, because the quickest the U.S. State Department can move is 18 months, even if your life is being threatened. And even going through Senator Schumer's office, we couldn't do it quicker than 6 months. I mean, it's just a complete debacle. I'm sure I don't need to tell you that. And they said, well, the only place we have relationships is Albania. And we've got a friend who's been a missionary in Albania for 25 years. I said, well, I know one guy from Albania. Let me give him a call. I think he was in the Foreign Service. I've met with him in my home on several occasions. He's the chairman of People to People International, Genci Mucha. So I called Genci. And it turns out Genci is the former Albanian ambassador to Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, Kyrgyzstan, Georgia, and now works in the president's office in Albania. So he agreed to sponsor this young woman. The Taliban has beheaded everyone else on this wheelchair basketball team, female basketball team, that they were able to identify, because women should not be participating in sports. And we have been unsuccessful. I think we had one plane with 53 U.S. citizens, 138 green card holders that we had on a private plane or had chartered a jet with UAE Airlines, and the State Department would not let us land in the United States. I mean, we literally were looking at, contacting through intermediaries, drug cartels in Mexico, to pay to get these people across the border, because we know they'll have no problem then. They may even get a $450,000 check from the government. I mean, it's just terrible what we're going through. But it was, and then after that all happened, I felt like the Holy Spirit was saying, you asked me to demonstrate my love for you, and this is how I choose to do it. I'm going to use your passion for networking, your relationships to help save and bless other people, both spiritually and physically. So incredibly moving. But I just want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. I'm so thankful for the blessings I have and enjoy. We're in our new pool room. This used to be an old storage room with concrete walls and wood studs and pink insulation. But Jason's family's coming here. His daughter painted this mural. This is an endless pool as the frame because of supply chain. We're working on some more parts. And the concrete floor is the base of the pool. And I had to get a special jet. It's like it's like the treadmill version it's sort of for running what a treadmill is in terms of a pool. It flows the current against you. I had to order a special motor. It was slow enough for my swimming speed, but I'm excited. I'm very excited to get started swimming here around Thanksgiving, hopefully, and I'll send you some pictures of the finished product. But thank you so much for your incredible generosity. Thank you for making everything we're doing with Henry possible. We're doing exciting projects all over the world. I've been working with Ed Silvoso, who wrote the book Ecclesia. His brother-in-law was Louis Palau, who you may have heard of, sort of the Billy Graham of Latin America. We've got a meeting coming up on November 30th through December 3rd with the president of Argentina. And we're going to be distributing medical supplies in partnership with the church based on the needs the government tells us through MAP International, which donates over $500 million of pharmaceuticals a year, MedShare, which does free shipping, Video Medical Mission, which I introduced to Jackson Healthcare, which provides free telehealth with doctors and nurses from around the United States, hundreds of thousands of them for free. So we're really getting an ability to marshal tremendous resources to solve big problems around the world. But thank you for allowing us to keep the engines running. We're praying that that gift comes in. Also, a final bit of wonderful news that I'm extremely thankful for. Our family business, Mason Capital Partners, has been supporting me for the last 14 years through the course of my injury. And my brother has now signed a joint venture agreement with a woman who ran a $160 billion hedge fund. And they're raising a $5 billion clean tech fund and a $2 billion real estate fund. And my brother's going to be one of the 3 partners in the real estate fund. And they have made Henry the charitable beneficiary of all of their philanthropy. They hope to give away 10% of their profits to charity, and we're the charity of choice. So I'm extremely excited about that. We're working with a foundation on the West Coast to send clean tech deals at Bill Gates' request to all the billionaires that have taken the Buffett Gates pledge, which is 222, I believe, but over 220. So I'm excited, both philanthropic investments and for-profit investments in clean tech. So exciting things happening. Thank you for everything, Dave and Sarah, you've done for us. I hope you'll talk to Kelly about the exciting things happening at Jacob's Ladder. I know that's a big passion of yours as well. And God bless you. Thank you for your friendship and support. Call me anytime if you want to talk in greater detail. God bless.